What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. All right, this actually is just going to be a little bit of a continuation from the conversation that I did yesterday on Claudia Jordan and Jaguar Wright. Because listen, I got a lot going on in my life, and sometimes I miss a little bit of the little hints, and it may not even really be hints, but just the information that's right there in our faces that is the reason that causes people to pause and question what's really going on. So yesterday, I talked about the fact that Claudia Jordan came out pissed that Jaguar mentioned her in her sit down that she did with Real Life Productions and talked about her trying to link her to Diddy, Jay-Z, and the deceased Kathy White that she called Corey. So listen, I want to just talk about a couple of things, and I really want to get your thoughts on it because I'm going to admit it kind of slipped by me yesterday, and I'm not here to say what she did or didn't do, because one, I honestly don't even really care, but I'm just talking about it because it's out there and she's obviously angry about it and people have questions. And because she is a public figure, not just because she is, but she is a public figure. And with that comes some speculation when you have been in the circles of these people that has a lot of mysteries, shall we say, surrounding them. So listen, I want to read the statement again that she posted on her Instagram. And I'm just basically doing this because when I was reading it, I was thinking, I was like, I don't know. But listen, when she responded to Jaguar, she said, "More lies. When will you people learn? I have never been with, never dated, never slept with, never made out with, never been in any kind of intimate relationship or situationship with Diddy, Sean Combs, Sean John, Sean Connery, or any other Sean. I met him at the 2009 BET Awards at rehearsal because I was a presenter and he performed that year. I merely took 2 playful photos with him backstage, sitting on a couch, not his lap, and took my behind right on out of there to the after parties with my bestie, Atta. I posted the photos on my MySpace page along with all the other celebs I took pics with and woke up the next day to dozens of angry text messages from him. Because he was mad someone snatched pics from my MySpace album and sent them to @Media Takeout, and he blamed me. Listen, if she was just a presenter at this award show and took 2 playful photos with him backstage, I mean, maybe you exchange phone numbers. I don't know. But I don't know if people normally do that. If it's someone that you see as a celebrity and they're like, sure, I'll take a couple of pics with you if you ask them to, and then you're exchanging phone numbers. I don't know. I'm just saying. And then she says something about Media Takeout. And she said, but at the time, I didn't even know what @Media Takeout page was, aka Fred. He knows. 58 text messages later, after a heated exchange where I did not back down, it was a done deal and squashed. And he never texted me, and I never texted him ever again. Listen, this stuff is a lot, and this is one of the reasons why I feel like she shouldn't have even said anything, especially when it comes to Jaguar Wright, because like I said, people, they're either going to believe Jaguar or they're not going to believe Jaguar. And I do believe that some things she says, it sounds credible, but some things they're absolutely not. But in this statement that she put on her Instagram to respond to these Jaguar Wright allegations about her and Diddy, she's giving more information that I feel she should have, because it's just causing people to dig deeper. Now, I'm going to put the link to Michelle A.T. Brown's video in the description box so that you can check it out. But listen, I watched it, and I'm just saying there's a lot of things that just makes you question, because there are all of these pictures from Getty Images, which is a credible photography company and site. And they will shut you down if you use their images as if they are your own, or you don't get explicit permission to use their intellectual property. But it's okay to just scroll through it and look through the images. And that's what Michelle was doing last night on her YouTube video. And there are so many images of Claudia with the woman Kathy White partying with Diddy and Jay-Z. And that shocked me because, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about Claudia. And even what I think I might know, I don't know, because to me, I was introduced to her on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I didn't know a whole lot about her prior to that, to me. So they even have, it's crazy, they even have a list somewhere online. And I'm not saying that the list is credible, because anybody could make that up. But they have a list of all of the people that we'll just say men, not just people, all of the men that Claudia has allegedly been connected to or been with in the industry. And it's a long list. Again, I'm not saying that it's true, but I'm saying that there's apparently a lot of alleged information out there about Claudia all over social media, and the internet, not just social media, the internet, because the internet is way more than social media. So I'm saying there's a lot of information about Claudia all over the internet that if she's going to be suing people, she's going to have a laundry list of people to sue. And I don't know how far it's going to get her. And that could be where Nene and Portia got the rumors about her being with all of these men and whatever, and just not really wanting to have anything to do with her when she came on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not saying that it was fair or it was right. And I'm not even saying I understand it, because again, I'm saying this is a list that anybody could have made. So I'm not saying that stuff is true. But for me, being somebody who doesn't know a whole lot about Claudia, I was like, why are they trying to sell this stuff about this girl who was just like flipping letters? Not flipping letters. I'm sorry. That's that's a Wheel of Fortune. Who was just one of those model presenters on The Price is Right and Briefcase Girls on Deal or No Deal. That's all I knew about her. And I think, yeah, she's been in a couple of music videos. I know she was in one of Joe's videos, who I absolutely love, Joe. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I thought about that when I was reading a statement, and I'm like, hold up. If you just took a playful photo with him backstage, how did you wake up to a bunch of angry text messages from him? Why would he even have your phone number? Because it's not like you had Instagram back then where he could get to your social media, message you in your DMs, and you're going back and forth there. This is back when you had to exchange phone numbers. And I thought about that, and I'm like, that's funny. It's a little bit strange. I guess it's possible that you could have exchanged phone numbers. There's no crime in that. And hey, if it happened, it happened. But when Michelle was going through all of the pictures, there's a number of pictures of Claudia with Kathy White. And now I remember when Tasha K mentioned this, and she did not accuse Claudia of doing anything, but she did make a joke, but also, she was making a statement, but in jest, saying, why is Claudia always seems like she's around a bunch of hoes and mistresses? It was a statement made in jest, but also one that some people questioned, because it kind of looked like that, because when she was connecting the dots and naming the people that she has had some sort of attachment to, yeah, it just kind of gives that appearance. And even the Bible says that you have to be very particular about the circles that you are in and the people that you surround yourself with, right? And the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. So I'm not saying that she's one of those, but I'm saying that's why people question. And so I don't know. But the text message thing, that threw me off, and it just made me wonder what was really going on. And there's even a picture, one of the pictures that Michelle had, where Claudia is in the picture. No, she's not right next to Diddy, hugged up with him or anything, or, bent over while he's, doing anything. I'm not saying that. But there is even a picture where they're partying in one of the clubs, and Cassie was there, side of the head shaved, in the same picture. Claudia's partying, having a good time. Diddy's partying, having a good time. Cassie's in the picture, but she's sitting down looking like she's chilly because she didn't really have much on, and looking like she's ready to go home. So, you gather all of that together. And then she says in her statement that, of course, I've been to a couple of his parties where we didn't even speak as hundreds of people were there and I left early. To me, again, like I said, it's like she's going so deep to defend herself. And I don't have an issue with someone trying to defend themselves. But when you say, of course, I've been to a couple of his parties, why would we even think that? To say, of course, like, I wouldn't have thought that. I really wouldn't have thought that, because I don't know a whole lot about her, and I didn't really see her as someone who was really in the industry like that, where she would even be at any of these parties. To me, it just didn't seem that way. You know what I mean? Especially based on what she's doing now, which is vlogging and talking about mainly celebrities and trending stories. It's very uncomfortable to really be in that industry with those same people that you wind up having to talk about. It can become very uncomfortable because you're either going to ruin relationships or you're going to be biased because you don't want to ruin those relationships that you have with those people. So speaking of relationships, when she was talking about Albie Shore, it was like they're friends. You know what I mean? I'm just going to play this little clip.
Good-looking kid is not going to want to go along with that. Like, I just believe he was wooed away from his real dad with things. And I think Albie Shore finally feels comfortable. This is my opinion, y'all. This is my opinion. I think he feels comfortable speaking on it now. I do believe that there were suspicious things around Albie Shore going into a coma. I do believe that. And Albie Shore is not a thirsty guy. He's not. He's never been. He could have released a book when Kim passed. He could have done...
So that's a clip from Michelle A. Brown, but a clip from TGIF Fox Soul, where Claudia, she's talking about Albie Shore, because this was around the time when the rumors of Diddy possibly having something to do with Albie Shore being in a coma and whatnot. And I mean, she's speaking her opinion, of course, but she's speaking like she knows. So to be honest with you, it's not a whole lot different than what Jaguar said. Not so much of what she said, but how Jaguar said what she said about Claudia.
And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, wouldn't you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the...
So, yeah, I mean, Claudia, she talks about people, and again, she's sharing her opinions, but she's saying, I believe, I think, I know Al. I mean, yeah, I know Al. Albie Shore, what she was talking about him. But it's a lot. It really is. And I just wanted to talk about that again, just going a little bit deeper when it comes to her response, because the response is like, of course I went to a few of his parties. I woke up to all of these text messages from him. And it's like, if you just took a picture with him and now people are passing it around, it's like, well, why is he text messaging you? How could he text message you if you didn't even know him like that? And you said you woke up to 58 text messages. And to say, of course I've been to some of his parties, but then there are these pictures of her partying by Kathy White, and this is what Jaguar Wright is talking about. So my point is, again, I am not saying that Claudia really knew what was up and what was going on. I'm not saying that she ever screwed Sean. I'm not saying she had any sexual involvement with him, but if she did, they're consenting adults, I would assume, because she hasn't come out to say that he did anything to me like Cassie said. So I would assume, yeah, if they did anything, it would have been because you consented to it. And he went with it. But the coming out to defend yourself, and then it seems like it's kind of digging a deeper hole. That's why I was like, I feel like she just needs to make a decision as to what she wants to do. Does she want to be a public figure and be involved in these circles and in these crowds and possibly be named amongst the type of stuff that's going on? Or does she just want to be a vlogger and talk about those people that have a lot of this stuff going on? And then, whatever's already out there is just out there, and be okay with the fact that things are going to come up and your name may be called and you may be, or she may be accused at some points in time, but just let the dust settle, because coming out to defend yourself every single time something like this happens, it's got to be tiring. And if you can't handle it in court, which I honestly don't think that she will really be able to, then she's going to have to really pick her battles. So I just wanted to go a little bit deeper with that. You guys can let me know what you think. Thanks so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.